Let's get into really the heart of it. I want to bring in my guest today from Karner Blue Capital, Andrew Niebler and Vicki Benjamin. Thank you both for being with me. Okay, so much to unpack here, but I do not want to get through this interview without mentioning that you and also a lot of other investment banks, if I don't have this incorrect, have taken a Finance for Biodiversity pledge. Tell me about that community, because I'm excited to see that it's not just you and not just me who thinks this way, but there are more important players trying to shape the landscape. Tell me about that.
We were a provisionary signatory to the UNPRI Principles of Responsible Investing even before we had assets. And we were contacted through them about the Pledge for Biodiversity back in September. And for whatever reason, we were late to the party. I mean, our whole firm is that is the mantra of our firm. That's its mission, is improving biodiversity, environmental stewardship, and animal welfare through moving the capital markets. And so we signed up for it and then found out that there was a funding ability to be able to fund it and really push it forward into the US, because it hasn't gotten the kind of oomph you would have expected in the US. And so after the signatory time was out, I sent it out to a lot of socially responsible investors, CEOs that I knew. There were 2 U.S. firms that signed. It was us and Amy Domini and Domini Investments, another SRI firm. And then there was 24 others in Europe. 12 of us made a nice video that was played in front of the General Assembly of the UN. And basically it gives a time frame of 5 years to implement biodiversity indicators into finance decisions, and those finance decisions surrounding your investing strategies. So you're basically putting the A and B in ESG, animals and biodiversity into ESG, and integrating those into your investment strategies and also your financing decisions. So you're not going to, perhaps you'll consider when lending, if you're a bank, to those companies that, for instance, one of our pet peeves, one of our major pet peeves, drill in the Arctic in deep ice. So I'm so excited to do it. And we are actually working with Iceberg Labs to develop indicators that can be put into ESG data sets. And because we do have some of that data, and we're so happy. You know, competition is a great thing. It'll be great to bring so much publicity to this. The world needs to know that we're at risk of losing 1 million species very shortly, and a quarter of species are all threatened by endangerment and endangered. And you know, in the backdrop of climate change, this is going to be. We need to get this fixed. So with the UN helping promote this, we're really hopeful and bringing more investment advisors on board. And Andrew, you might want to add to that.
Well, yeah, so I think it's interesting that sometimes we get the question, why are you so focused on animals? Why do you care so much about this issue? And the answer is, we care about animals, certainly, but what a lot of people don't realize is that they know about climate change, but they don't realize the statistics that Vicki just mentioned and the biodiversity crisis that the planet is going through right now and the rate of extinction that's occurring. What they further don't realize is the connection between ecosystem services that are provided by biodiversity and our economic progress and current level, economic level that we're at. Essentially at this point, the World Economic Forum just recently, for the first time ever, came out with their most likely economic risks over the next 10 years. And for the first time ever, the top 5 were all environmental, including major biodiversity loss. So, people don't realize that half of the world's GDP is either moderately or highly connected to the ecosystem services that nature provides. So if we don't solve the biodiversity problem that Vicki just described, all the other things that we're doing are not really going to matter that much, because this is sort of and the only reason I got onto this is because one of the key things that the pledge does is it makes the statement that biodiversity is really what is the most resilient thing that makes human progress go forward. It's the basis for human progress.
Mm-hmm. Yes, if you don't have a healthy ecosystem, you don't have a healthy planet. Without a healthy planet, you don't have healthy people on the planet and healthy business. It's just not possible. They all have to work together.
Absolutely.
Jane Goodall does a wonderful job of explaining the triangle that happens between the planet, animals, and humans. And really, all three legs of those
Yes.
of that stool need to work together. Otherwise, it really falls apart.